Hello, hello, my brothers and sisters. This is Garrett Bake, your brother in arms, and welcome to another episode of The Tactical Businessman. Today's topic, what? Squirrel? Just kidding. Focus. I had to say that. For most of my entire adult life, in fact, most of my childhood as well, I was told that I had ADHD. Now, I don't personally believe in that, but I do know for a fact that I lack focus. Yes, how many of you can relate to this? Especially you business owners. You're working on about 10 things at once, and guess what? None of them actually get done. But I want to tell you a story. The other day, I'm sitting in the living room with my kids, and of course, wasting time on my phone. One of my sons is playing Overwatch, an Xbox game, and the other one's sitting next to me as we scroll through YouTube videos. Yes, this was considered family time. So we're scrolling through YouTube, and I see this video. It is one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. It's a competition, and it's in Japan or China, one of the two. Couldn't tell well because I don't speak either language, nor can I read it. But one of these two countries, and this kid who couldn't have been more than like 11 years old, maybe 12, but couldn't have been older than that. It's a clip, and it shows him juggling, which you're like, what? Juggling, really? Like, that got you? I'm like, no, because he wasn't just juggling. He was juggling Rubik's Cubes, 3 of them. Not only was he juggling 3 Rubik's Cubes, but he was solving the Rubik's Cubes while he was juggling them. Are you kidding me? Like, I have a hard time staying focused for 10 seconds. This kid, I'm watching him, and it was, I think, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. For 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I sat mesmerized watching this kid juggle as he's moving the pieces of the Rubik's Cube, i.e. solving them. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never actually solved a Rubik's Cube just working on it by myself. He is juggling and solving 3 at the same time. It was absolutely insane. My son and I, he's 12, we sat like mesmerized watching this kid. Like, what do you, like, is he really? No, he's not. And of course, the camera work would like slow down and show that when he had the Rubik's Cube in his hand, it was actually moving. Like, he was twisting it around. He was actually doing it. Sure enough, like 2 minutes, 20 seconds, he puts them all down, boom, hits the buzzer. Of course, they're all in perfect, solved patterns, whatever, solid patterns. Like, it was crazy. We both looked at each other and we kind of laughed. And then what happened? Then I scrolled to the next video. Like, crazy, right? But, like, here's the idea when it comes to focus. Really, as humans, we have no limits. 0. Except for the ones that we put on ourselves. Think about that for a minute. We have no limits except for the ones that we put on ourselves. When I was learning to shoot a gun, I really had no idea. I'm like, what is going on here? So I figured, yeah, there's a trigger, and yeah, you kind of point it at the target. But that's all I would do. And what would happen? I would miss the target, or I would hit, off the silhouette that I was supposed to hit, or I would, pull the trigger and low to the left, and like all these things that were happening that weren't supposed to happen. And the range instructor would come by and be like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I'm aiming at the target and I'm pulling the trigger. So I'd be like, okay, show me. And so I'd show him, and he's like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And then I would focus on doing that stuff, and then my shot would get closer, and it would get closer, and it would get closer until I'd hit exactly where it was that I was supposed to hit. Well, what was missing in that whole equation? The only thing that was missing was my focus. When you think about the basics of a firearm, it's sight alignment, trigger control. Sight alignment, trigger control. Super basic. If you can master sight alignment and trigger control, you're going to hit the target every single time. It's the same thing in a business. When you break a business down, and it doesn't matter the business, if it's an online business, if it's an e-commerce business, if it's a design business, if it's an in-person brick and mortar, if it's like, it doesn't matter what business is, it comes down to the fundamentals. Sales, systems, marketing, fulfillment. Sales, systems, marketing, fulfillment. That is it. And every business has to do those things. Now, why is it that some businesses make it and some don't? Well, it's because we don't focus on those things. we get distracted. Now, remember, I talked about this earlier. And I'll give you a perfect example. Me. Now, did you guys know on your phones, on the iPhone anyway, I don't know about the Android, but on the iPhone, they have something called screen time. Screen time will literally tell you how much time per day you average on your phone. Oh, snap. That's right. You, my friends, might be like me. You might have a phone addiction. Yeah, I used to have a porn addiction, but now it's phones. So I have a phone addiction. How do I know? Because last week when I checked my phone, guess what? 6.5 hours per day on my phone. 6.5 hours. And you're probably like, holy shit, what is wrong with this guy? Yeah, try it. Watch what happens. Those like 5-10 minutes here and there, they add up quickly. Now, to be fair, some of that time was actually spent working because I do post a lot of stuff on social media, which is work related. But still, it's a ton of time. And so when I look back and I say, why have my sales not been where I want them to be? Why is my marketing not complete? Why has my fulfillment kind of sucked? And why do I not really have systems in place? It's because I start down this path and then I immediately get distracted by something else, i.e. I lose focus. And so I miss the target. So say you have a target of completing a new funnel for your business. So you start off on Monday, you're researching funnels. Oh, hey, look, I got something else to do. Oh, look, Bobby called. He wants to get lunch. Let's go get lunch. Oh, hey, look, it's already 4 o'clock. I'm just going to head home and go play with the kids. Tuesday rolls around. Well, I got that really important meeting. I should probably take care of that. Oh, you know what? This client called and isn't happy with their product, so I should probably take care of that. And as soon as you know it, the day's over, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday, and then you're like, the only thing I wanted to get done this week was that funnel, and I never even touched it. Well, it wasn't the funnel's fault. It's your fault. You lost focus. And again, I'm speaking from experience. And I kind of shake my head because like this morning I was really frustrated because I've been building a lot of stuff. I've been in the systems realm for the last, I would say, good 3 weeks. And I was really frustrated because it's like not showing any fruit, right? I'm not seeing any results because I'm building all the back-end systems so that when I deploy, everything is in place and I can scale. But I was really frustrated. And so I had to stop and look back and say, okay, like what is it that I've actually completed? And I was able to see that in the times that I did focus, in the periods of time that I did focus, I was able to accomplish a lot. Like what I started doing, and I know it's kind of old school, is like I carry around a notebook now. And in this notebook, I write down tasks that need to be accomplished for the day. Why? Because I lose focus so quickly and start working on other things that I forget what it was that I was trying to do in the first place. Now, you can use this on your phone and your computer. Like there's other ways to do it. I get it. But for me, what works is I write it down in a notebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever it is. None of them are super huge, right? Because I don't want to overwhelm myself, but all the tasks need to be completed. Usually, most of them are revolving around a specific project. So like this 14-day program that I'm putting together, it's going to be free, but I needed to work on the automation side of things, i.e., how do I make it so that this automatically guides someone along a process? Well, that takes time and that takes effort. It took me learning how to work with chatbots. I had to learn about sequencing. Like there's all these different pieces and parts that fell into it that I needed to learn. And the times that I was able to focus on that, guess what? I was able to get stuff done. So what I realized is I put the systems into place to control my focus. Now there's all kinds of different systems out there. I'm not going to like market one, bash another. You just need to find what works for you. Some people do 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off. Some people do it in 2-hour blocks. Some people do it in 5-hour blocks. Like there's a bunch of different systems out there. You just need to find the one that works for you. So me, for example, what I try and do, I try and do 45 minutes of work and then 15 minutes of whatever I want. Go to the bathroom, scroll through Facebook, like whatever it is. 45, 15, 45, 15. But mind you, those 45 minutes, there's no phone, there is no internet, there is no nothing. It is straight work. And what I've noticed is those 45 minutes become an hour or become an hour and 15 minutes. And so my work gets longer, my breaks get shorter. What's going on there? I'm not working any harder. I'm just more focused on what it is that I'm doing. So how do we get more results out of our business? We learn to focus more. When is the last time you actually sat down and said, these are the things I have to get done in sales, systems, marketing, fulfillment, and then actually put them down in a priority? And then after putting them in a priority, actually listed each step that needs to be accomplished in order for that big step to happen. Now, for those of you who don't know a man by the name of Stephen Covey, I would recommend researching him. Really smart guy into organizational management, leadership, time management, just a really good overall guy. And he talked about a concept called the time matrix. I do some training on this. It'll be a little hard to do it on a podcast, but I'll just introduce the concept to you. There are 4 areas where we usually spend our time. 4 areas. And they're broken into urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. Well, the first category is the not urgent, not important. We call this the black hole. Why? Because if you get sucked in there, there's no coming out. This is where you get stuck, on YouTube thinking you're going to research a video on, how to implement a form into a website. And then pretty soon you're watching like cartoons on cat failures for 4 hours. Like there's nothing in this category that's going to produce any results for you, period. So you want to stay out of that category. The second category is urgent, but not important. If you're a supervisor or if you're a business owner or in any type of leadership position, this is where you spend most of your time. Believe it or not, urgent, but not important. What do I mean by that? You're sitting in your office and the door busts down and about 15 people come running in and everything that they hold in their hands is on fire. I can't believe the internet is down. We won't be able to do this. Or oh, our website is down and we won't be able to do this. And this isn't working, so we're not going to be able. It's like you spend your entire day putting out other people's fires. Can you relate to this? Like I remember when I first promoted from a patrol cop to a supervisor, like I was like, cool. I get to still spend time on the streets, but I'm not tied to the radio, right? I can roam around and do whatever I want. Nope, that doesn't happen. I spent probably 3/4 of my shift either in the office or on the phone. Doing what? Solving other people's problems. And it sucks because you don't feel very productive. Like you feel like you're doing something because you are, but you're not very productive because there's nothing forward moving that you're getting accomplished. You're just putting out fires and making sure what's already existing doesn't burn to the ground. The third area is urgent and important. Urgent and important. So this would be like you wake up in the morning, your wife's sick. You don't normally feed the kids and take them to school, but your wife's sick. So guess what? Forget everything that you had to do at work. It is urgent and important for your kids to eat and for them to get to school. So everything else takes a back seat. It's urgent and it's important. It has to be done right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The last category is urgent but not important. This is where the money's made. This is where businesses are grown. Because if you think about this is the forward thinkers. It's urgent for me to create this new product. It's urgent for me to find 10 new customers. It's urgent for me to build out this fulfillment system. But it's not important like right now. Like I'm doing okay right now. The business is doing all right. I don't need this right now. But if those systems are built out, if you find those new customers, if the new product is created, like if those things happen though, what would happen to your business? It would explode. So the people who have mastered this take a subject or an item or a task from the urgent but not important category and move it over to the urgent and important category, meaning it has to get done now. And so now all of a sudden, the thing that keeps getting pushed off that you know you need to do and would really help your business, but doesn't necessarily need to get done, is getting done. And what's the byproduct of that? Well, your business takes off. Crazy thing, right? Now, that was a brief introduction to the time matrix. Like, if you want to learn more, I can teach you more. No big deal. But I want you to see, like, go back and ask yourself, like, where are you spending most of your time? In which one of these 4 quadrants? And how is it that you can apply this to actually grow your business? Because it can happen. How do I know? That's right. I call myself case study number 1 on how not to do things, but then how to do things. Like, I figured it out. Took a lot of trial and error, but I figured it out. So listen, you're not broken if you can't solve 3 Rubik's Cubes while you're juggling in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, because I can't either. But that being said, what would your business look like if you could focus? What would your life look like if you could focus? See, there's a tactical approach to get things done the way you want to get them done. Now listen, I got a free 14-day challenge that I've been working on. It'll be deployed here shortly, and I'll share this with you guys so you'll have access to it. It's going to help you find that focus inside of your personal life and inside of your business to ultimately get the results that you're after, because it is possible. How do I know? That's right. Case study number 1. All right, that is it for today. As always, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.